star quarterback Austin Nightingale back in action, the Pumas are averaging over 40 points a game.
Coach, I've been hearing fans and players rave all night about Terry Morrison's performance.
Huskies have been throwing for close to 350 yards every game.
Tonight's game was interesting for more reasons than just the game action. It is unclear when both parties will be able to meet again to renegotiate the contracts. Now you're in the process of replacing your quarterback right now. Who's in line for the job? Behind me is the stage where 16 women from across the state will be competing. And in between the two of them, they put up over 50 points. You gotta check out some of this action. Thanks guys, hard-fought battle out here tonight at Desert Ridge High School, but the Jags were able to power through and get that W. I'm out here with head coach Jeremy Hathcock. Coach, I've been hearing fans and players rave all night about Terry Morrison's performance, and with 3 out of the 4 touchdowns, would you say it was his performance that ultimately led to tonight's win? Okay, and you guys have been averaging over 40 points a game this season. How have you guys been able to maintain such a high level of play from week to week?
Oh, we played better than W.
And what's practice going to look like this week going into round 2?
It's going to be very physical.
Time now for our AZCentral.com fan vote game of the week, and for that, we turn to Cecily Seljeskog. And I think you were telling me about St. Mary's and Sunny Slope a bit earlier?
I was. This was this season's final fan vote game of the week. The fans sent me out to Sunny Slope for their battle against the St. Mary's Knights. Both these teams are excellent. Like I said earlier, Sunny Slope's coming in tonight undefeated, but St. Mary's is led by star quarterback Gabe Losada, who has thrown for almost 3,000 yards and over 30 touchdowns this season. You got to check out some of this action. After a long drive down the field, Knights quarterback Gabe Losada scrambles with it and goes 16 yards for a touchdown. Knights with the ball again. Ball is loose. Mason Cheatham snags onto it, and the Vikings take over. A couple plays later, Tim Friesen sneaks it into the end zone for a Vikings touchdown. Second quarter, St. Mary's forces the punt. Punt is blocked by Chris Areza, and Knights take over on the 41. Mason Cheatham bombs it deep down the field to Jeff Goebel. Tim Friesen finishes it off with an easy run up the right sideline. Vikings close out the half 21-7. On to the third, Losada looking to connect downfield, but it's picked off by Cheatham. Fourth quarter, St. Mary's with a fake punt attempt, but the Vikings get a hold of it deep in Knights territory. Vikings turn the ball back over. Losada airs it deep down the field to Josh Arroyos. Losada again with the pass, and Marino Ruiz with the incredible catch. The Knights put up 9 more points, but the Vikings closed out the game with a 31-16 win and a now 10-0 perfect record.
We got to stay healthy, and again, we got to execute. We had some stupid penalties and mistakes that we got to clean things up, and we'll see how far we go.
Make sure to join us for our online chat at 9 a.m. Saturday morning as the playoff seedings are announced. It's all on azcentral.com. Check it out. We'll be back with more highlights right after this break. At today's press conference in Fullerton, California, Los Angeles Angels outfielder Mike Trout unveiled his new partnership with Nike.
Nike, went above and beyond, and they told me, when they mentioned it to me, I was, total shock. I was, it's one opportunity, and it means a lot to me.
This opportunity is the Nike Lunar Vapor Trout, the first Nike signature shoe made for a Major League Baseball player since Ken Griffey Jr.
Just, the way he performed on the field, the homers he hit, the defense he's played, it's definitely someone to look up to.
Inspired by the 2-time All-Star, Trout's cleat combines style with speed.
It says, if I look good, I play good. Make it hot.
Vapor was engineered to make athletes faster in the field, so really to shrink the field.
As one of the fastest and most powerful players in the league, Trout stressed a need for a lightweight cleat.
You don't want to be in the outfield and mess around your shoe or thinking in a dugout, man, I got to change these things. I think the biggest thing is not knowing you even have a shoe on, just like a sock.
This new venture is not only exciting for Trout, but his family as well.
They're big Nike people too, so it means a lot to them. Growing up, wanting a shoe, wearing the Griffies, the Jordans, everything. It's pretty impressive.
During tonight's game against the Texas Rangers, Trout will play in the Vapor cleats for the first time. Despite the outcome of the game, Trout already feels like a winner. For MLB.com, I'm Cecily Seljeskog. A big headline going into the season is if the Boston Red Sox will repeat as World Series champions. Can they recapture the magic they had last year? That remains to be seen. But they did capture some sensational selfies early this week after dropping their first game to the of the season to the Baltimore Orioles on Monday. The Red Sox took their championship visit to see President Barack Obama, and while at the ceremony, World Series MVP David Ortiz decided to take a selfie for the ages, sending the sports Twitter sphere on fire. The picture got over 40,000 retweets as well as more than 45,000 favorites and deserves to go up in the Selfie Hall of Fame right next to Ellen's Oscar selfie. The Red Sox last year were no one's World Series favorite, but this year all eyes will fall on them.
The USA men's youth team avenged last year's loss to Brazil with a comeback victory to capture gold in the Junior Pan American Championship. In the Blue Caps, the United States took the lead early, scoring the first goal of the game. In the Whitecaps, Brazil responded with a goal to end a low-scoring first period tied 1-1. In a much more lively second period, both teams combined to pour in 8 goals, 5 scored by the Brazilians and 3 by the U.S. Going into halftime, Brazil held a 6-4 advantage. Brazil carried the momentum early into the second half by striking first, increasing their lead 7-4. But the U.S. arms prompted 3 unanswered goals, tying it up 7-7, setting up a fourth quarter that would ultimately decide the gold medal. And the U.S. would capitalize on the energy created by tournament MVP Bryce Hoerman's go-ahead goal that gave the U.S. an 8-7 advantage.
Bryce Hoerman's shot from about half tank, that was a bar down, and just got everyone super excited and led to, I think, the momentum.
Hoerman's clutch scoring spurred another point by teammate Nicolas Carniglia, but the defending champion Brazilians displayed their heart with a 2-0 run to narrow the gap, but were ultimately dethroned by the U.S. 10-9. After trailing throughout the majority of the game, the U.S. finally pulled together to win the gold medal.
Relied on our teamwork, all the training we've been doing for the past month, and we just knew they'd wear out, and we have a lot of depth, so we just stuck with it, got pumped up, and just started hitting our shots.
Just getting big games. You know, I joke with somebody, I'd rather play Brazil 10 times in this tournament just because they're such a good team. They were well coached, they had phenomenal players. So just getting us experience playing together, playing as a team, learning little nuances.
Brazil will still go home with a silver medal, and Canada defeated Argentina 11-8 to claim the bronze at the Pan American Championships. The next big tournament for the U.S. is the Youth Worlds beginning August 2nd in Istanbul. For USA Water Polo, this is Cecily Seljeskog of the Cronkite Los Angeles Sports Bureau. Most people wouldn't ordinarily associate Canada with beach volleyball players, but Ontario natives Heather Bainsley and Sarah Pavin are determined to put Canada on the map. It was just a year ago that the two decided to join forces. Bainsley, an experienced beach player, began her outdoor pro career after graduating in 2006. But when she lost by only 1 game in her attempt to qualify for the 2012 Olympics, she was ready for a change and took a big risk by taking on indoor player Sarah Pavin as her partner.
I just wanted to prepare as best I could for 2016, and if there was a time to take a chance, 2013 was the year. And another thing too is that I knew Sarah was an incredible athlete and volleyball player, and I would be crazy to give up that opportunity to try out a partnership with her.
Sarah Pavin has played indoors her entire life. In fact, she was the youngest woman ever to be selected for Canada's senior national team. Pavin played for Canada until she was 18 when she decided to pursue a degree at the University of Nebraska. She graduated in 2008 with several top-flight honors, including the Collegiate Player of the Year in 2006. She continued to play indoors around the world, but after not qualifying for the 2012 Olympics at age 26, she knew she needed to make a change before time ran out.
I'm getting older, so I was like, I have to do something if I want to make this a reality. And, we have Heather, who's been playing for a long time on the beach, and she's very talented. So luckily she decided to take a risk and take me on as a partner, and hopefully we'll make a go of it.
With one thing on their mind, the Olympics, the two have been training nonstop to make that dream a reality.
To devote your entire life to one specific goal and not achieve it, for me, I wouldn't be able to live with myself for not making the full effort. So, I'm gonna give it one more go. And at the end of the day, if it happens, amazing, and if it doesn't, I'll know that I gave everything I possibly could to make it happen.
Making the Olympic team is anything but easy. Paven and Bainsley have spent their last year far from home, training in Southern California and competing everywhere but their native Canada in order to represent their homeland. Their home away from home is Hermosa Beach, where they are trained by Scott Davenport, who played professionally for 13 years. Although the process can be taxing, Paven and Bainsley understand that this is what it's going to take to make their Olympic goals happen.
It's grueling. You're on the road for months at a time, and just dealing with the pressure of having to qualify and making the top 16. And yeah, I think just believing in ourselves and believing that the time that we've put in is what we need to do to get there.
In the 1996 Olympics, Canadian team John Child and Mark Heath surprised the world by taking home a bronze medal. On the 20th anniversary of that win, Paven and Bainsley are hoping to have that same success. This is Cecily Seljeskog of the Cronkite Los Angeles Sports Bureau.